What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Historic Labs channel. This is Journey to Launch Part 5, Marketing. In this video, we're going to go over a little bit of the marketing things we did leading up to launch day, but also some of the things that we learned along the way. So let's get into it. First thing is going to be brand identity. What makes your brand different? For Historic Labs, it's going to be our artistic capabilities. We demonstrate our art in the labels. It's also going to be our patent ingredients. Just like you see here, these are some of our patent ingredients, right? This is our flagship pre-workout. We partner with different companies to bring you these quality ingredients that help with our 5 pillars, which is how we formulate, right? Energy, focus, pump, performance, and endurance. So the way we formulate also allows us to stand out compared to some of the other brands. Our art, right? We use different cultures to represent our products. So for example, our flagship, uses the Greek theme. Then we go to the non-STEM, which is Egyptian, high STEM, which is Aztec, and thermogenic, which is the Chinese culture. As we expand flavors, you're going to see some color changes. If we make more formulas, you're going to see other cultures incorporated in here. Go ahead and comment below any cultures that you guys would like to see, because we always love to get creative and demonstrate our art through our labels. Other ways that we use to stand out besides our art and our formulation, I would say, is our values and our vision and our mission. So if you go to our About page, you will be able to read a little bit about our origins, our vision, learn a little bit about me and Kelsey, the founders, and then our core values. So our core values actually spell out the word historic, right? HISTORIC. I think these play a key part in our brand and also just in, as a company. I think it's very important to stick to your values. But our overall vision, right, is to empower others to rewrite their own stories. What does that mean? That means to help others know that they can change who they are and it's never too late to do that, right? If you want to do a bodybuilding competition, this was me and Kelsey in my first bodybuilding competition, and this is us at the LA Fit Expo, but it could be anything, right? We want to empower others that do CrossFit, high rocks, powerlifting, bodybuilding. We sponsor athletes from different sports, and we just really want to just help the community in a sense of those who have that mindset that they want to change who they are. That kind of leads obviously into your target audience. You could make an avatar obviously of like who your target audience is. You go very broad, right? Like let's say 18 to 35, male and female, goes to the gym, works out, bodybuilding or just average gym goers. You go very niche, right? You could only target just power lifters, but it just depends on your goal, right? Like what community are you trying to tap into? You can go very broad, you can go very niche. It doesn't really matter. You could start off. I mean, you can start off with just having something very niche and then open and expand and then scale from there. I think we started kind of more, I guess, broad in a sense, mainly because me and Kelsey were both college athletes. I was in the military for 6 years. Kelsey played volleyball. So it was mainly like we just wanted to target athletes, but also just, average gym goers. We go to the gym. We love talking to people. We love, inspiring others. So for us, it was just a very broad approach. Next is more like, how do you make yourself stand out? Obviously, like your logo. So why do we put a lot of energy into our labels? It's mainly because we want to stand out, right? Like when you put our bottles next to a competitor's bottle, you want to make sure that it's eye-catching, right? Our logo, we own the trademark to the logo, designed it this way, put vibrant colors, use foil, right, for our labeling to stand out. It gives it a nice, I would say, like a professional tone, compared to just very simple, I guess, like matte with like some lettering on there or something like that. So we put a lot of effort into our look because we want to stand out. We want people to look at our bottles and feel them and know that, a lot of work was put into it. Next, let's talk about content marketing. So leading up to launch, with our little knowledge at the time, right, in like 2022, we launched December 1st, 2022. We kind of only knew social media, to be honest. So you could start posting on Instagram, make some reels, educational content, still pictures, some kind of behind the scenes stuff, expo stuff. We kind of tried it all, more science backed stuff. We got lucky to get on a podcast with New Live Science, one of the companies that we actually partner with to give you guys a couple ingredients that are in our formulas. You could do Instagram, you could do YouTube. We just launched the YouTube channel here. So we have some cool stuff on there right now. You can check us out at Historic Labs on YouTube. Having a lot of the content, I guess, like on all different platforms does create that trust, right? It builds that trust with your consumers, with people, so they can see kind of where everything comes from. Like, for example, this video. So like this video, we went to the manufacturer and we were able to see exactly how it's formulated, how it's made on the line, sealed up, and then, the final product. So that was actually really fun. You could also connect your social media platform, right? Like Historic Labs for Instagram, we connected it to the website. So we're able to actually see all of the posts, and, people, when they get on your page, they're able to see that as well. And speaking of social media, right, creating a good social media strategy. At first, when we were doing this, all we can think of is like, let's do some unboxing, let's send it to influencers, let's get people to taste test, we threw just a lot of different things at the dartboard because we just didn't know what would work, what wouldn't work. But I think trying it all gives you an idea what you're really good at and what people like as well, because you can check the analytics. So it was an ever-changing process and ever learning the entire time. And I think posting consistently, right, 3 to 7 times across all platforms is probably going to be helpful for the algorithm to learn your brand and your following, and grow you organically, right, before starting to pay for stuff and pay for ads. And once you get a pretty decent grasp, I would say, at posting and trying things out, you could also implement like ambassador programs or affiliate programs. Like we have one called Roster. So Roster is a pretty good ambassador management platform. It gives you all of the analytics. You're able to integrate with Shopify. You are able to get the proof of the UGC, and then all of your ambassadors are incentivized either through paid commission, rewards based, or both. We do both. So there's milestones that you can get depending how much you post, depending on how many times your code is used. We give discounts, shirts, little care packages, and then custom hoodies as well for anyone who gets the platinum milestone. You guys can always take a read. And if you're interested in joining the athlete program, just go ahead and take a read, and then you can apply now. It's super easy. Just a couple questions, submit, and then my team will look at it and get back to you guys. So affiliate programs are pretty good. Also, email marketing, text messaging. Email marketing, text messaging is pretty good. So like Klaviyo integrates with Shopify. I would say Klaviyo is really good. They're still getting better though at a couple things. I think they're really good at email marketing, pretty good, pretty decent at I would say SMS. We use them for both just because you're able to pay for the account and use both. And on top of that, now they've come out with reviews. So we've adopted the actual review integration for Shopify. We used to use another one called Looks. Looks was pretty good. However, that's what we started off with during like getting to launch day. We started with Looks because you could put video reviews. The awards was pretty good. The flows were pretty good, but it's too expensive. It's like $50-$60 a month. And I don't think it was worth that, to be honest. If it was like $20 a month, I would say, yeah. But when it comes to Klaviyo, you can do all three: email, text messaging, and reviews, all under the same monthly pay. And then if you go over, obviously you send too many emails, and you go to the next level and they charge you more. But I think Klaviyo is the best place to start, actually, because it has it all. You could also use MailChimp. There's a couple other things on Shopify on the apps you can look into. If you use WordPress or Wix, there's probably apps on there as well. I'm pretty sure they probably have Klaviyo on there, but it just depends what e-commerce platform you're using. Next is paid advertising. A lot of people always talk about paid advertising, right? You could obviously use Meta ads, TikTok ads, right? Do a lot of research on this. That way you understand it, or you actually hire someone to do it for you. The thing about meta ads is you need the upfront capital. So it's going to be a little bit difficult if you do not have the upfront capital. That's why we didn't use any ads starting off. So when we launched, we would boost posts because it was easier to, put $25-50 on a post for like 2 days or a couple days and try to get sales from there. But when it comes to ads, it's more robust. And usually you would want to pay for a service to help you with it if you have no experience. If you have experience running ads, then by all means, go ahead and run your ads. But with supplements, you have such a high upfront cost for inventory that it really cuts down on your marketing budget. So if you pay like $40,000 for inventory and you have like $5,000 left, are you going to put all the $5,000 into marketing? No, you might maybe put like $500 a month or something, or 1,000 a month. It just depends. Or do you need money to go do other things, right? Like you have to pay for some of your shipping material, some of your labeling, right? If you're shipping to supplement stores and they need 50 bottles of creatine, you got to upfront the shipping. So it depends where you are in your business and how much you've scaled until you start running ads. Like we just started running ads about a month ago and we're in year 3. So we're working with a service right now and we're testing it out and see how it works. I mean, we've built this company mainly through grassroots, through pop-ups, through events. Right? Like most popular events, I would say, has been the Fit Expos for us. So the Fit Expos, I think, do a really good job at connecting you with your customer base, all types of customers actually. And you get to see what competitors do. So you got to get creative. So they have 3 a year, and we've been to Anaheim and we've been to LA twice. Our first time in LA, it was about a month after we launched. We put bottles in a backpack and samples and just kind of ran around as like goers, right? Like Fit Expo goers. But we promoted our product, gave some samples away, and just tried it that way. And then last year, we went to Anaheim in August 2024, where we launched our historic line. So all the products you see behind me, and it was a success. However, you need the upfront cost for the expo, right? So some expos vary from 1,800 to $3,000. So if you don't have money for an expo and you're using your money up for marketing and ads, then by all means do that. But I would say with expos, you get to build that trust. The customer gets to talk to you, gets to learn who you are, and you really get to understand what the needs are of your customers. And you get to let people taste test that stuff because everyone obviously they want a good tasting product. So I think expos are pretty good. You could also do events. Like we did our first event. It was a CrossFit event. This was our first event. Look at that. We summed up a little bit of money. We bought, like, look at our little table with our little plastic marble thing from Amazon. This was probably the most expensive thing we bought, this banner. This was our first product line, right? Just the Mount Olympus pre-workout, which we came out with 3 flavors. We bought our little jugs. We had some of our hats and samples. And then we had a little easy up. And this was awesome because this was the first time me and Kelsey actually together were able to do like an event. And we learned a lot. We had some great conversations. We were able to practice how to answer some of the questions, and we were able to practice on getting negative feedback and positive feedback. You could also do pop-ups. So you go to little gyms or supplement companies, or now we're trying to do pop-ups with first responders, mainly because we want to actually like give back to that community of first responders. And if you're a first responder listening to this, we do the discount. It's called GovX. So when you go to the checkout, you're able to click GovX, verify that you're a first responder, and get 30% off. So that's our way of giving back to first responders and military, mainly, obviously, because I'm a veteran as well. Next is going to be influencer collaborations and reviews. So getting reviews, making sure your Klaviyo flows are working properly, making sure you're getting reviews or now I've been actually doing this now. I should have started doing this a long time ago, but I've been calling a lot of customers, asking them about their experience with the product, asking for reviews. And I think that's actually done really well. Like, for example, today I was on a call and one of the customers said, this is the first time that he's ever been called by a brand and asked for their opinion on the experience. So that was actually really good, and we were able to build that trust. When it comes to influencers, though, I would say you got to be careful, because you're going to have influencers that don't relate with your values, but they just want product. You're going to have influencers that relate with your product, but they want a lot of money. So there's different avenues you can approach, right? That's why we offer roster, because it's the ability for them to be incentivized and also rewarded for their hard work. You can also go on like TikTok affiliates, find some affiliates, and they have like certain pricing. So it's like 100, 150 bucks for some UGC content. You can work with UGC services. They're a little expensive. Some ask for like $2,000, some ask for like 500. You can ask your friends. But overall, just do a good job at vetting who you want to represent your brand. Because I've had people ask me for $60,000 a year to represent their brand. Obviously, they have a big following, but they just have, some bad reputation. They have a bad reputation, or they just had some baggage with them. And I don't want them to represent my brand. So I turn them down. And it doesn't matter. Like, some people are going to judge you for it, and they're going to be like, oh my God, they had, millions of followers, and you turn them down. And it's like, yeah, I turn them down because they don't represent what we are, what we want to be. So yeah, I'm going to turn down people that are just bad to go for the brand. That's my job as the owner, to make tough decisions like that. So that's the influencer thing is complicated. Try to make your best judgment, try to stick to your guns, stick to your core values, and everything else will fall into place. It, it, don't look, don't think that every single post that you make or every single decision you make is gonna launch you to the moon. It's not. I used to be that super go getter that, like, I'm like, oh, this post is gonna do it. This post is gonna do it. Or that interaction with that person's gonna do it. Oh, if I give this product to this person, that's gonna do it. It's not. One of these days, the most random post that you make will probably get all of your business to scale, but just be patient. It only takes one. It takes one post. It takes one interaction. It takes one relationship to make your business go. You just have to be patient. Last thing is going to be website and SEO basics. I'm not a professional at this. So what I did leading up to launch day is look for someone on Fiverr. So let's actually put Shopify SEO. So Shopify SEO, you literally can just look through here. Like, this guy's charging $120, this one's $250. You can just look for cheaper ones. It doesn't really matter. But they can help you with SEO optimization and just get your website to run a little smoother. All right. So we went over a little bit about brand identity, the affiliate ambassador program, email marketing, ads, some events, expo pop-ups, and some SEO basics. So I'm going to leave you with this quote. Marketing isn't just about making noise. It's about building trust and building relationships. You're going to try everything. Not everything is going to succeed. I would say 95% of the things you attempt are going to fail. Or they're not going to do as well as you think. However, you got to keep trying. You got to keep at it and keep going. Well, that sums it up for this video. Check out the description below to stay connected. Use code HISTORY to get 10% off. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more historic content.